Tom Aspinall has just released fresh sparring footage, and the MMA community, including Joe Rogan, is going wild. The clips reveal a side of Tom we've never witnessed before, changing stances, mixing levels, and showing that he's fully prepared for whatever comes his way.
Here's a question with Aspinall. What happens with Aspinall in the second round? You want to talk about a guy who sprints.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a guy who's fast, the fastest heavyweights. He might be the fate in the history of the sport. I don't think anybody moves like that guy does. He beat everybody else's ass too. All the other heavyweights, ragdoll dudes way bigger than him. He's just a freak, and he is again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. I mean, he knocked out Sergey, who's the scariest striker in all of MMA, and he knocked him out in the first round. And the way he did it was just picture perfect. Like, I've seen a lot of heavyweight, even Francis, who's like the greatest, scariest power striker I've ever seen in the heavyweight division. No one's scarier than Francis. Francis does not move like Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is significantly faster than every other heavyweight. That's a real problem. At a 250 plus pound frame, his movement's extraordinary. And that's something you have to deal with. Like, that is a crazy ability. His ability to move, like the way he moves, is so much different than everybody else in the sport. He moves like a 175 pounder. He doesn't move like a 250 pound guy. Look how quickly he closes the distance, man. His hand speed and full range of skills. Incredible stand-up, knocks guys out with one punch, black belt in jiu-jitsu, really good wrestler. His everything, and he's young.
So what's your prediction if it happened?
It's hard to bet against John. It's hard to bet against John, but John's not a real heavyweight. John could make light heavyweight 100%. He weighs 230 right now, maybe a little less than 230. There's no doubt in my mind that if John just changed his diet and went back, he hasn't put that much mass on.
For Tom Aspinall, you said you don't really care about the belts. You really want to prove you're the best. Is there any other fighter in the heavyweight division that you feel you need to beat to prove that you are the best, other than Ciryl Gane?
Yeah, there's lots of guys. There's lots of guys, man. But I'm the kind of guy who doesn't look past my opponent. I'm very, very serious about this fight. I've been training for the last year without a break. I've had absolutely no breaks. I'm much better now than I was in my last fight, and I want to show that. But as far as other heavyweights and stuff, right now that doesn't really interest me. John Jones is retired, so I don't really have much to say on that, to be honest. So I'm fighting this guy, and this guy's really good, so I'll be as ready as I can be.
Imagine if Ciryl Gane beats Tom Aspinall. So it was announced that Tom's first title defense as the undisputed champion will be against former interim champ Ciryl Gane. And although me and many others are siding with Tom, we also can't forget that this is the heavyweight division and one shot could change it all. So imagine after everything that happened at heavyweight, Ciryl Gane captures the undisputed belt. But more importantly, how would that affect John Jones' legacy? Because you know that if Ciryl beats Tom, John will use MMA math to show everyone why he never had to fight Tom since he defeated Ciryl so easily. Even if Tom wins but has a tough time in doing it, John will still be at it. Personally, I don't think this changes the fact that John was ducking Tom as he saw him as a dangerous matchup. But what do you think?
Fans are convinced this proves what many already believe, that Aspinall is set to dominate Ciryl Gane in their October clash. What makes the footage so impressive is that Tom isn't just relying on his usual explosive style. This time, he appears calm, calculated, and dangerously adaptable. He is managing distance with ease, gliding in and out, and then suddenly shifting gears with blistering speed and raw power. It's a kind of training that reflects not only supreme confidence but complete preparation. Joe Rogan has often said that Tom Aspinall is a different kind of heavyweight. Unlike the traditional slow, methodical big men of the past, Tom combines speed, accuracy, and fight IQ in a way that overwhelms nearly anyone. And now, with this latest sparring footage, it's clear he's still evolving, sharpening his game every single day. But the real question remains, how does he stack up stylistically against Ciryl Gane?
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. What happens after it? I like the idea of Alex versus Tom right now. You want to know what another interesting fight is? Alex versus Ciryl. Alex is not going to beat Uncle Ida, but we got Alex to light heavyweight in the first place by getting him beat. I believe Alex is in that spot right now. I'm bringing all of this to your attention because right now there's one thing for Jon Jones to do, and that is Tom Aspinall. Regardless of what happens between Ciryl and Tom, if Alex were to move up and beat them, you've now created an opportunity for Alex versus Jon, and that does work. Jon versus Tom is the fight, but Alex versus Jon is the next fight.
That's already a sick fight card. Obviously, with Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, Jailton Almeida and Volkov being the co-main event, if they are, just being on the fight card, they're going to be a backup fighter if anything happens to the main event. What's your thoughts on Volkov versus Gane? Sorry, Aspinall versus Gane.
I think it's the next best thing that we could get right now with Jon Jones not being able to do it and stepping away. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what Tom's plan is going to be, because I think on the feet, they're pretty evenly matched. I think it could be fun on the feet, but I think there's definitely a huge advantage for Aspinall when it comes to the wrestling and the grappling. And I think he'd be silly to not at least attempt to make it a bit of a grappling match and try to get the ground and pound, take him down. And we'll see. If he can defend takedowns, it could be a lot of fun. But if not, I think Tom can make some quick work. But there's a lot of pressure on Tom, man. We were talking about it on the pre-show this weekend that, you didn't get the Jones fight. You waited all this time, and now you've got to fight somebody else. And it's always tough because you want to win that one to really prove to everybody that, yeah, you are that guy. You are the great. You are the best. You're the reason Jon didn't want to take this fight, blah, blah, blah. If you go and lose that one, you just...
Yeah. Well, we haven't had guests on for a little bit because I've just been all over the place and very, very busy and all the rest of it. So I'll reach out to Tom and see if we can get him on next week, and we'll start getting some guests on again. Tom isn't the type of guy that talks shit usually, but he did do a video where he was talking a little bit of shit about Ciryl Gane, saying that he wanted to fight Ciryl multiple.
Ciryl Gane is best known for his fluid movement, slick kickboxing, and ability to stay elusive inside the cage. He frustrates opponents by staying light on his feet and landing precise counters. But Aspinall's speed and explosiveness could completely disrupt that game plan, especially if he closes a distance and brings his wrestling and brutal ground and pound into play. Many analysts believe that could spell serious trouble for Gane. Fans often point to his fight with Jon Jones as evidence of his struggles against elite-level grapplers.
To fight him, so you can understand a little bit of shit talk there in Tom's nice, kind of respectful fashion without, lowering himself and losing his temper and just using facts to talk shit realistically. And he was in Paris, by the way, because I met up with him and his dad. But he fought Ngannou for the belt. Then he fought Jones for the belt. And now he's fighting Tom for the belt. He's certainly getting the opportunities.
Yeah, and Tom's right. If Ciryl goes out there and loses to Tom this time around, it's tough, as we know, to go and get that fourth title shot after something like this when you've dropped them like that. It's definitely a must-win situation if he wants to be the champion. Now, it's not a must-win situation in terms of his career. He's not going anywhere as long as he wants to fight. But if you want to be champ, man, especially with a guy like Tom, where you don't beat him now, there's probably not a good chance that you're going to be getting back to that one anytime soon.
Well, in terms of the matchup, they're both big men, similar sizes. They're both athletic, very athletic. They're fast, the pair of them. They're both very coordinated. I think if I had to give an advantage to Ciryl, it'd be in maybe in the movement. Maybe he's a little slicker on the feet, but he's not as powerful as Tom. And Tom's certainly slick as we know. But the wrestling, the grappling side of things, it's not even a conversation. It's not a conversation. So. Tom should be able to take him down if he chooses to. So if Ciryl Gane isn't training in Dagestan for 2-3 months, years, days, weeks,
or Arkansas,
brother.
Yeah, he's just go down there with brass.
Get up there with brass. If he's not just solely working on his grappling, then he's a fool. Yeah. And by the way, Tom's probably got bigger power
To be honest, I don't really care about belts and stuff.
I'm from Stand 'Em Up. I got a question for Tom Aspinall. Tom. Obviously, you've defended your interim title once already. Do you feel like this is your second title defense, or is the interim belt and the actual belt different for you?
To be honest, I don't really care about belts and stuff. I just care about my next fight. Cyryl's my next fight. He's the guy I'm focused on. This fight's been simmering for a long time, do you know what I mean? We've been talking about this fight for a long time, so I'm just ready to fight this guy already and take him out.
The easy thing would be to try to take Ciryl to the ground. Is it obviously going to be the game plan, or are you going to try to strike with Ciryl?
I think if I hit anybody, I can knock anybody out. And I think that Ciryl is no exception, but obviously there are some weaknesses in his ground game that we've seen. I'm sure he's improved. I'm sure we'll both be ready for anything.
And with Tom's ability to seamlessly mix striking with takedowns, the threat he poses is very real. Aspinall isn't just another heavyweight. He has the skill set to take over every area of a fight. That's why so many believe he's built to stay on top for a long time. The new sparring footage only adds fuel to the hype. It proves Tom isn't overlooking Ciryl Gane. He's preparing for every scenario. Whether it's a striking duel, a wrestling exchange, or a battle on the mat, Aspinall is ready. This is what true champions do. And it's exactly what makes him such a nightmare for the rest of the division. Right now, the heavyweight landscape feels like it belongs to him. With this level of preparation and versatility, many predict Aspinall won't just defeat Ciryl Gane. He'll solidify himself as the most dominant heavyweight of this generation. The question is, can Ciryl Gane weather the storm?